What's the deal, my people? You know it is Don Tony Teflon, and I'm back at you another one. And this one is Dexter New Blood, Episode 5, Runaway Breakdown. I will go over the whole show for you, this whole episode, and after, I will tell you exactly where I think they're going. What up to all my thugs, nerds, freaks, and geeks? You're now rocking with the best of Don Tony Teflon. If you can, please subscribe and click that bell so you can be notified every time I drop a new video. As always, 500 goals is the like, and if we hit that goal, I will give away to one subscriber who leaves a comment a Dexter t-shirt. We did have a winner, and I will announce that winner in this video. So a lot happened in this episode. Somebody's spot got blown up. The episode jumps off with the scene that we've seen in the promo trailer. Dexter looking at the straight razor and his sister telling him, do you think that he could have remembered? Dexter saying, no, there's no way he could have remembered, but she's saying you did, so it's a possibility that he remembered. Dexter believes that his son is just like him, and he thinks to himself that basically if he tells him exactly who he is, that he can steer him right. But Deb then tells him, listen, what Harry did to you was not the right thing. It was child abuse. That should not happen. This kid will wind up worse than you. And I think that that is a key moment, her saying that the kid who's going to wind up worse than him. I think that is exactly what's going to happen. Dexter then confronts Harrison, trying to get him to open up about the razor blade. He says he has it for protection because he was on the street. Dexter then says, listen, if you hurt that kid on purpose, you can tell me, you can trust me. And then Harrison's like, why would I trust you? You're lying about your whole identity, Jim, and walks out. And there's really nothing Dexter can say about that because Harrison's 100% right. Harrison then walks out. Now, conveniently, his boys pull up and they're like, listen, you're right, I'm a monster, but come with us. There's a party jumping off. He gets to this party and he realizes it's a party for all the people that were supposed to be victims of this kid. So everyone in there believes that Harrison is the reason why they're alive. So they're all there to celebrate him. As soon as he walks through the door, they're giving him a beer. He had a beer in the car already. He's like, let's party. They're getting it on. This blonde haired chick comes to him, looks like she's about to give him some, but then she reaches down. She grabs a bottle of pills. She's like, listen, I'm on ecstasy. You need to catch up to me. He takes ecstasy. After that, he takes another pill and he's not looking so good. The chief's daughter goes over to him. Is like, yo, son, what's going on with you? And he drops dimes saying that Dexter's name isn't really Jim and blows up his spot. Right after that, he passes out. She runs away. She calls 911. The cops arrive. Logan arrives on the scene. He gives him Narcan, saves his life. After that, you see him go back to the hospital. In the hospital, Dexter runs in, finds out that his kid OD'd. He returns it to the nurse. The nurse tells him, listen, he thought he was taking something else. What he really took was fentanyl, and your son is very lucky. And this gives Dexter the idea that he has to get vengeance on this dealer that did this to his son. After that, they cut to Dexter and Harrison being home. Dexter's like, listen, we're going to get through this. He cooks him breakfast. He's like, I got to run out. Are you going to be okay by yourself? Harrison says yes. He leaves and he goes to this dive bar where the supposed drug dealer is supposed to be at. Harrison waits for him to leave. When he does, he takes the plate, the food, everything, and just tosses that junk right in the trash. Then we see Dexter reverting back to the old Dexter. He runs up in the garage. He grabs up some plastic trash bags. Then he goes over to the animal shelter. He gets some ketamine. He gets his plastic. He gets tape. He gets everything he usually uses to kill people, and that's his plan at this particular time. And this is when we see Dexter becoming sloppy and unraveling a bit. He goes to the bar. He fakes like he's trying to buy drugs off this dude. He gets the dude outside. I mean, he's not even looking for cameras. He's not looking around him. He takes out the syringe, he sticks it in the kid's neck about to, and as soon as he does it, here comes Logan pulling up in the cop car. He tries to switch it up by hiding the syringe and punches him in his face. Logan pulls him off him. He brings him back to the station. He gets the kid to confess exactly who the drug dealer is. Dexter gets the guy's info because he looks over the lady's shoulder after he's hugging her, and then he goes out to set out to kill this kid. Now, when he goes out to kill the drug dealer, the real drug dealer, the one who's making the stuff, we see that he he is sloppy once again. I mean, he's jumping inside this kid's house. He doesn't know how many people are in the house, but he goes in there through the window looking for this guy. Eventually, he does find him coming out of the bathroom. He sticks the syringe in this guy's neck, and he makes the whole kill room, wraps him up in plastic, and does all that. But before he can actually stab him, here comes the cops again. Dexter again has to think quick, so he takes the fentanyl, pours it up the kid's nose, and the kid overdoses on that. He puts him in the chair. The cops bust in. They find him sitting in the room where he makes the stuff, overdose, so he thinks he's safe. I don't think he's safe. At the end of the video, I'm going to tell you exactly why Dexter messed up and how he's going to get caught now. So let's run it over to Kurt right now. We see him in the basement with Chloe. Chloe's like, oh my God, this is the time of my life. I got a jacuzzi in here, everything else. He's like, yep, only thing I need you to do is pay it forward. I don't want nothing for you. Just pay it forward. And that seems to be his line. So during this situation, she realizes that she's trapped in this bitch and she cannot get out of there. She notices the word on the camera, and then she sees the light goes on, so she knows Kurt's looking at her. So she pulls off her top, very sexy young lady, and starts trying to seduce him that way. He screams. He's like, this is not what it's all about. He gets mad. He slams it. He tells her, get out of the room. You can leave now. Smartly, she realizes something is up, and she's like, come and make me leave. But what she does is she has a piece of glass, I do think if it's a mirror, in her hand that she's ready to stab him with. Kurt comes down the hallway. When he comes in the room, she is able to nick him right in his cheek. I do believe it's on the right side of his cheek with the glass. She cuts him. He grabs her. He throws her outside. He grabs his gun. He tells her to run. She looks at running, and she looks at him, and she does the smart thing. I think that's what you have to do in a situation like this when you're taught to charge the attacker. But when she charges Kurt, he does get nervous. You can see him get nervous, but he does let off a shot, and when he does, he hits her right in her eye and takes her out. He gets upset, saying this isn't a part of his ritual. It's not supposed to go down like that. And then he shoots her again out of frustration. Finishing up with Kurt, later on, Harrison does leave the house and he says he's going away, little pouty, I'm gonna run away. Kurt runs into him. He says, let me buy you something to eat. He brings him in his diner, and at the end of the conversation, after trying to give him some advice, he offers Harrison a job. And he tells Harrison, listen, if your dad or anyone gets mad at you, do something kind for him, pay it forward. So what we learned about Kurt in this episode seems like he is the guy who is doing this killing. It seems like he's doing it all by himself. And he does it every 2 months. That's what the bartender says. And he comes inside, he plays the Runaway song on the jukebox, and he asks her to dance. So he's been killing girls for all these years, one every 2 months. So the most important thing in this episode is the trip between Bishop and Molly, taking the trip to New York City. They said that this guy's credit card was used in a hotel, so let's go down there and see exactly what's going on. Molly said she'll pay for the whole trip because the police will not use this as the budget, so they head down there. Bishop strong arms the front desk person because she wants the video footage of the person checking out, and he says, all right, don't bring the police up in here. I'll give you the footage later. While they're doing that and while they're waiting to come back for that, they go to a police conference. So at the lecture, who do we see but Angel Batista, talking about missing people and how you have to find the connecting thread. And he brings up 2 cases because after they have the conference, he sits down with Bishop and they have a conversation. But at the conference, he brings up the Bay Harbor Butcher, and then he brings up the Trinity Killer. Molly says when she brings up the Bay Harbor Butcher that she knows about that case. And then when he's having that sit down private conversation with Bishop, after he's done tried to hit on her, as Angel always does in classic Angel form, and he gets turned down in classic Angel form, he brings up the Trinity Killer and talks about Deborah Morgan. And he says that she had a brother, but the brother is dead, and they had a little son. The son's name, he forgot the son's name, and then it comes to him. He says Harrison. They go back to the hotel. They bring up the footage, and it shows that there is somebody else using the card. She snaps a picture of this person, and then she's going to bring that evidently back to Kurt and confront him about it. Now, I can see him easily weaseling his way out, saying, hey, I thought it was my son. You know, I didn't see. I thought it was him. I didn't know. Someone must have stole this car. But that is going to open up that investigation. because she says, why would Kurt lie about this? Why would he lie? So he's going to have to come up with something, and that's going to lead to the missing girls without a shadow of a doubt. Then when she gets back home, she talks to her daughter. Her daughter says Harrison said something funny before he passed out. He said that his father's name isn't really Jim. She then clicks in her head. She looks it up online, and then at the end we see her pull up the obituary picture of Dexter Morgan. So this was a good episode, but it just shows the unraveling of Dexter and how exactly he's going to get caught. If you check out my last video on Bishop, I say exactly how she's going to be the one to bring him down, and it just points to exactly, I think it's going to play out the way I said it. So make sure you check out that video. It comes down to this: Dexter stabbed 2 people with syringes in their neck. If the medical examiner is worth his salt, from what we've seen he's going to see eventually those 2 syringe marks in both of these people's necks. So that's not going to go unnoticed. Also, they brought up the Bay Harbor Butcher and the Trinity Killer. We have the podcaster who has all the knowledge about all these cases, and that's Bishop's best friend. So therefore, this is how Dexter's gonna get caught. Check out that video. I think that's how it's going to end for him. And the winner of the Dexter t-shirt contest is Kelly Murta. Thank you, Kelly, for being a subscriber. Thank you for leaving a comment. All you have to do is contact me, Teflon TV, on Facebook, and give me your information, and I will send that to you. I was hoping to give away 2, but only one video hit 500 likes. So let's try to hit this video to 500 likes and go back and hit the other one so they get 500 likes, and we'll still give away those t-shirts. I'll be back with another Dexter video before you know it. So if you like the way I do this, please thumbs up this, spread this across the realm, and as always, subscribe. And until next time, you know who it is. Peace and stay sexy.